Then she talked about having a gun, that she keeps it on her at all times. She did. So this woman was saying all this stuff like, you don't know the I am. I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. So I did a little research and I found out who this bitch is.
What is it?
So who is this hoe? Who is this hoe? Brit Edie is her name.
Hi beautiful ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about the Kenya and Brit Edie situation from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Those of you who are watching the show, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But just for a little context, there is some beef, I guess, going on between Kenya and Brit because Kenya exposed some explicit and some other photos of Brit Edie in response to Brit threatening to pew Kenya.
Can you speak to Brit kindly and not with an attitude? I didn't write it, I promise.
The answer is yes. I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have.
Yeah, but we're talking about me, sweetheart.
Okay.
What do you mean, why? I have the floor, baby.
Okay, you want a moment. Have your moment.
This is not a moment.
Yeah, it's
this
a
is
big moment
how?
for you.
You're having a moment. Do you need to step out?
I am a moment. I can speak to everyone.
This wasn't about everyone. You want me to read it again?
Everyone kindly.
Would you like for me to read it again?
I'm not going to play these childish games. Peasants cannot come for a queen.
That was what? You said peasant?
We have olive oil here.
Please stop.
You
I gotta go
wrap
home.
it up, lady.
Yeah,
I didn't sing for her.
Thank you for using my catchphrase.
Hey, girl, get the out of here. Get the out of here.
Thank
Some
you
people
so
be
much.
trying the wrong
Here we go.
ones. They be
Here
looking
we
for their
go.
moment.
Ladies.
I have good. Like, get the out of here, bitch.
Hold on for a second.
All right.
No, we're not done. We're not done. We're still catching this moment. Okay, because it's a vibe. Hold on. Let me find my husband
Okay.
first.
I
have so many things though. This is a lot.
I mean, I still got my pistols, so.
Black girl magic.
I don't play them games. I got whips, pistols, everything. No peasants. You're going to be respectful around here, and if you don't know, you're going to learn today.
She talking about guns for real. She was talking about I still got my pistol on me. This girl is a problem. She gotta go. She gotta go for real. She got the hype, so I'm gonna go. No, please let her do something to me so she can go.
And Brit didn't say that in so many words, but like when you reference the fact that you have a weapon, you are obviously doing that with the intention of using it. So Kenya didn't like it, and rightfully so, and felt threatened. And she took matters into her own hands and decided to expose some explicit photos of Brit in an attempt to malign her image. And I want to start off this video by saying that I do not think that it is appropriate for anyone to leak the photos of a minor, even if that minor is now an adult. If those photos show that individual in a compromising position when they were under the age of consent, those should be left off limits, because you know, you looking at those images and then printing them and showing everybody else those images is pretty predatory in my opinion. And I do think that Kenya should not have taken the time away from her business launch to talk about Brit and what she did to her, when she should have used that time to launch her business and network and utilize all of the amazing contacts that were in the room to help, you know, further promote her brand and make some sales. Now, even more so than ever, because it looks like her hair website is down, which means that, you know, something is going on and she's clearly not making sales at the moment, which, number one, there's one source of income that is temporarily out of service. But number two, even though I do believe that Kenya's feelings were justified, I do think that Brit was the aggressor in this situation and that she should have been fired. She probably will not be invited back to next season, but I do think that Bravo could have, number one, not shown the altercation, or they should have at least removed Brit if they were going to remove Kenya. Kenya allowed her emotions to get the best of her, even though I think there was like a day or two in between the incident where she could have cooled down. It's not like it happened immediately after that same day and she just did all of that in a fit of rage. She had more than enough time to just calm down, get her head right, and focus on her brand launch. So now, because of her lapse in judgment and her inability to control her emotions, now she's out of a second bag, which was probably bigger than her hair business, because Kenya, and arguably her main claim to fame, was being a cast member on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and now that's been taken away and she may not ever be invited back to the show. Bravo takes situations like this very seriously. We know what happened with Phaedra Parks. Phaedra Parks was banned from the show back in 2016-2017 on season 9 when she made false allegations about Kandi R-wording Portia. There have been rumors that she would be invited back to this season, but you know, even if she is invited back, it took almost 10 years for her to be invited back to the show. So yeah, I really don't know. No shade to Kenya. I love Kenya, but I don't really think that Kenya has much going on that's major like Phaedra did. Phaedra, a lawyer, a mortician, she owns other businesses. So the show was kind of like whatever for her, like just extra, another source of income. But it seems as if being on Real Housewives was one of the major sources of income for Kenya, and now that's gone because she allowed another woman with issues to get the best of her. But on the flip side, I really do think that both Kenya and Brit are two sides of the same coin. They both have that little girl in a grown woman's body type of behavior where, because of their fractured relationships with women along the way, Kenya had a fractured relationship with her mom. And, you know, she's kind of struggled to reconcile that issue, and it's played out in the way that she interacts with other women. And Brit has kind of alluded to having a fractured relationship with her sisters. She mentioned that her sisters kind of pretty much picked on her and bullied her. And so she had to put on this tough girl persona so that she wouldn't be a victim to her older sisters. But because she hasn't worked out those issues, that behavior is now playing out in her being an aggressor to everyone who she perceives as a threat, even if they aren't actually a threat. So it seems as if they've both met their own match. And now we see evidence of when you don't deal with your trauma and you allow your emotions to get the better of you, this is the end result. We see tumultuous drama on both sides, an inability to be able to deal with actual issues. Because again, I do think that Brit is at fault in this situation, but Kenya really could have used emotional intelligence. She could have really outsmarted her opponent to come out on top. She could have put the focus on her being the victim and Brit being this bad person, and she would have still been on the show. She would have had more juice and drama to add to her existing storyline, and maybe Brit would have been eliminated from the show. People would have only seen what Brit had done and would have been more likely to align with Kenya. But because now Kenya has behaved the way that she has, it's almost as if people are divided. Some people are siding with Kenya and saying, yeah, you know, don't forget what Brit did to start this whole thing. But there are people who have forgotten, it seems, what Brit has done, or maybe they've chosen to forget because they don't like Kenya, and as a result it's like there are some blurred lines here. So we know that Kenya has this tough girl persona. I will say this, in previous seasons Kenya was super messy. She would poke fun at people unprovoked, and so, you know, she was the antagonist in a lot of seasons, and rightfully so. But it seems as if she's kind of matured, especially after the birth of her daughter, Brooklyn. She's kind of matured where she doesn't really poke fun at people like that. She'll still, like, you know, make this shady side comment, like when she's talking with Cynthia, for example, or laugh at things, but she'll never, like, provoke anyone and cause any drama, which I respect her for. But another thing that I do respect Kenya for is the fact that she will stand her ground. She will not sit there and allow women to push her around and make her feel less than. She will open her mouth and defend herself, and rightfully so. And when you are a girl like Brit who thrives off of their opponent being afraid, they want to kind of assert dominance by strong-arming the opponent, so to speak. So it's almost as if, like, you and I are good so long as you do what I say. And if you don't do what I say, if you step even a little bit outside of the parameter of what I've set for this relationship to work, then I am going to rain down fire and brimstone on you. You can tell that Brit kind of desires female validation, but because she hasn't learned how to form healthy, non-confrontational relationships with other women, she forms dysfunctional relationships through drama in order to get close to other women. So it's like, instead of just taking people as they are, case by case basis, the way that an average person would be, it's like, okay, whatever, I don't really have an opinion of you. It's like the little first sign of what they perceive to be disrespect based upon their trauma that's informing their opinion. They take it and run with it rather than gathering other evidence to support their suspicions of whether or not that person means them any harm. And this all started at Shamia's birthday dinner. So I'll go ahead and play that clip for you to see.
Hello.
How are you?
This is gorgeous. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What's your name? Kenya.
I'm Kelly.
Kelly, Kenya.
Nice to meet you. I'm Brit.
Hi, Brit. Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you
meet you.
too. You guys look so beautiful.
Thank
It's
you.
the girl of the hour. I think she's still getting ready.
And where's Portia?
Girl.
Are y'all divorced at this point?
No, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Wait, is it fine if you guys going through a divorce?
2 years.
You're going through a divorce. You're going through a divorce. You're going through a divorce.
Are you?
Portia's
Oh,
going-
you're married.
I'm married.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, 'cause you don't have your
married.
other ring. Are you married or engaged?
No, I'm married. That's my second wedding ring. This is the second one. Yeah.
Oh, from a different guy or?
No, I only have one husband, one man.
No, I didn't know if you were married before.
No, This is the upgrade. This is the anniversary.
Okay, an anniversary of the first ring.
Oh. So listening to Kenya's comment, it's just definitely unnecessary shade. I just don't think that you can speak on anybody's ring and you don't have one.
I did his insurance. I was his insurance agent.
You are more just a neighbor, good neighbor.
So as you can see, Kenya came in and she hugged Cynthia and Drew, and she didn't hug Brit and the other new girl because she didn't know them, which is totally fine. But then in that conversation, Kenya kind of made a comment about Brit's ring and saying, oh, like, is this your first marriage or your second? Is that your engagement ring? I don't see a wedding band. And you can tell that Brit definitely took offense to Kenya's comment, and she took that as a sign of disrespect, like, oh, she's just trying to shade me and one up me. And she's doing that based on her lived experience of other people bullying her and trying to discredit her accomplishments. And in her mind, being married to a man who, in my opinion, has questionable sexuality, in her mind, that is an accomplishment. And so Kenya making a comment that doesn't explicitly state that she's happy for Brit being married, or just a neutral statement like everyone else, is a sign of disrespect. But what Brit failed to realize, because she was in her feelings, was that Kenya's comment was contextually appropriate, because number one, they were talking about divorce, and it was actually Brit who started the topic, where she asked everyone, she pointed out, oh, you're divorced, you're married, or whatever. And then naturally, when you're a part of a group conversation, you contribute to the conversation. So Kenya kind of chimed in and was like, oh, okay, she rightfully only saw one ring. Okay, when you see one ring on a ring finger, you assume, if it's not a band, you're going to assume like, okay, this person is likely engaged, as opposed to seeing like the band and then like the stone, or just seeing the band. Most people will be like, okay, that person's probably married. But because she only saw the one ring, she deduced from what she saw that, oh, this person is likely engaged. So she asked for clarification. Oh, are you engaged? Are you married? And Brit completely took it out of context without looking at the facts around her, and started to catastrophize in her mind that, uh-oh, because other women have attacked me similarly, Kenya, it looks like she's doing the same. Brit made the comment of, oh, this is my second ring. Just off the fly, off the top of your head, you're going to think like, oh, okay, is this your second marriage, your first marriage? And maybe that came off a bit sour. Maybe that came out wrong, or Kenya could have worded that differently. But I don't think, I think it was appropriate based on the context of the situation. And then we see where she kind of took that and ran with it. And like when they went to Angela's dinner and they all sat down, she wanted that validation again. She wanted that validation from Kenya, likely again stemming from her not getting the supportive, loving relationship from her older sisters. when Kenya came in, she's like, oh, you didn't even give me a proper hug, when Kenya did hug her. And it's like, if you watch the clip, which I'll insert here.
Today. Welcome to the bag. Yes. Is this a runway?
I thought we were wearing black.
What are you wearing? Versace, honey?
You were supposed to be wearing black.
No, I didn't get the memo.
Come on. It literally said all black. I know she saw that. But it's cool. It's cool. She came here twirling in the wrong color.
I didn't it literally said black attire in like the big.
I don't own black stuff. I don't know.
That was a pat. That was a pat. That wasn't a hug.
That's a hug without getting makeup on me.
Here we go, Kenya. Now I've been trying to be nice to you, so you giving me this little pat, not a hug, says everything.
You can see that Kenya, like they were all sitting down. It's not like she stood up to greet her so that Kenya, which is proper etiquette actually, when someone comes to you, it's customary for you to stand up and greet the person, right? So that it's not awkward. So the next best thing, because she didn't stand up, was for Kenya to reach down and kind of give her a hug. But I guess she didn't kiss her and squeeze her extra hard. And that fed into Brit catastrophizing again. So that was the first jab of that night. And then when they all went around, I think it was like 2 truths and a lie, where it's like, oh, as you can see here in this clip.
Can you speak to Brit kindly and not with an attitude? I didn't write it, I promise.
The answer is yes. I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have.
Yeah, but we're talking about me, sweetheart.
Okay.
What do you mean, why? I have the floor, baby.
Okay, you want a moment. Have your moment.
This is not a moment.
Yeah, it's
This
a
is-
big moment
How?
for you.
You're having a moment. Do you need to step out?
I am a moment. I can speak to everyone.
This wasn't about
kindly.
everyone. You want me to read it again?
Everyone kindly.
Would you like for me to read it again?
I'm not going
for
to play
you?
these childish games. Peasants cannot come for a queen.
That was what? You said peasant?
We have olive oil here. Please
You
stop.
can
I gotta go
wrap
home.
it
up, lady.
Yeah.
I didn't sing for her.
Thank you for using my catchphrase.
Hey, girl, get the out of here. Get
Thank
the
you
out
so
of
much.
here.
Thank
Some
you
people
so
be
much.
trying the
Yes,
wrong
here we go.
ones. They be
Here
looking
we
for their
go.
moment.
Ladies.
I have this. Like, get the out of here, bitch.
It's like, there you go again, looking for that validation from another woman, when actually you want validation from your older sisters because your older sisters were not nice to you. And so because you haven't properly reconciled that void and that tarnished relationship, even though it looks like she's working towards it, you're now seeking that from other women who have nothing to do with what your sisters did to you. And I'm not buying it that that question wasn't planned. I feel like maybe Brit wrote that question herself and put that in there because I highly doubt anyone, first of all, would care about that. Kind of just struck me as too coincidental that that question came up in that setting to Kenya. Kenya was calm and respectful in my opinion, and kind of entertaining and honestly validating Brit's feelings. But then when she started to push and carry on to get a reaction out of Kenya, she was doing it on purpose because, again, people who have fractured relationships and unresolved trauma, they thrive off of drama. When you are calm and respectful, they see it as you not caring, because the only type of interaction that they've gotten that is passionate from their loved ones is one of toxic passion, like anger, being mean, being vindictive, whatever. So in her mind, if you are yelling at me and matching my energy, that shows that you care, which a lot of women have this mentality where if they get into a relationship with a man who's very calm and respectful and he's not confrontational, they either say, number one, he's boring, or number two, they'll be like, oh, he doesn't actually care for me because he's not vocalizing very loudly how he feels. And so Kenya's calm disposition signaled to Brit that Kenya did not care, and so she kept poking and pushing to get the desired outcome out of Kenya, and she got it. You can tell that Brit is the type of person that will try to smooth things over by indirectly trying to atone for what they did by making grand gestures in order to put the victim in an uncomfortable position where they look bad if they don't forgive them, rather than addressing the issue directly. So Brit showed up to Kenya's event with a whole bunch of flowers in front of everyone. First of all, if you have a blow up with someone like that, I don't think that is appropriate for you to go to their event. You just sit that one out, send your regards if you truly care, and just sit that one out, because it's going to make that person feel uncomfortable, and it's going to take away from the overall purpose of that event, which is to promote that person's business. In my opinion, that's selfish of her to show up, because now it's going to be like, oh, look, Brit came with flowers and she supported your event and you didn't accept it. Now you look like a hater, Kenya. Like, what the heck? When no, that was just a manipulation tactic used by Brit to try to disarm Kenya and level the playing field. And again, like, you'll see this with other abusers, like women who are in relationships with abusive men, where the man will be abusive, and then instead of him saying, yo, you know what? I'm sorry for what I did to you. I have a problem. Let me go away and take care of what I need to take care of so that I don't do this again. They'll kind of just be like, oh, I'll buy you flowers. I'll buy you jewelry. And then if you don't accept it, or you're like, you know, this is not acceptable, we need to talk about what you did, it's, why can't you just let things go? You're just ungrateful, and you're the reason why this happened, because you see, you're always pushing and antagonizing things, trying to deflect and cast blame instead of them taking ownership for why they were in this situation in the first place. So that's just my 2 cents on Brit and Kenya. If you encounter someone like Brit, stay away from her. You even see where she had a tussle with Angela, where she tried again to make herself look like the victim in order to deflect from the fact that she did something pretty horrible. She downplayed what she did. When you watch her in interviews, it's like, no, I didn't have it. You know, I would never do anything like that. I was just talking in the heat of the moment, trying to reduce what she did while amplifying what Kenya did, as if she wasn't the precursor, she wasn't the catalyst to start the issue. So she did that by talking about her license, and then she asked everyone else, like, oh, are you talking to Kenya? Like, you're allowed to control other grown women's relationship with another grown woman. And when they said, yeah, we spoke to her, like, she's our girl. A lot of those girls have been on the show for many years before they probably even knew that Brit existed. And so obviously they're going to check in on their friend who they have a long-time relationship with.
You guys all talked to Kenya about her feelings?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about what Kenya's got going on? This is why I have this wall built up with you guys. Did you guys not see what Kenya just did? Like, are you kidding me? I'm dealing with a lot. I have to deal with this with my husband, business, my license, you know.
Yeah. She mentioned to me yesterday that she lost her insurance license.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Right.
What do you
On
mean
what
based
grounds?
off of what? Are you confused? What's been going on?
They said she
Oh, wait a minute.
What do you mean based off of what?
Where's that energy coming from with me? I'm licensed as well. In order to lose a license, there has to be cause. What was the cause? That's the question I asked. Brit, to be honest, this same energy.
Today is for me.
How? It's
what do
always
you mean
been
how?
for you.
How?
This energy,
What's
this
the
is
energy?
a peace offering. You're not coming in peace. I just asked you a question
You're
of
not,
how
listen.
did you, on what
I'll wait
cause?
till
And
you're
you just
finished.
ate me up.
I'll wait till you're done.
You just ate me up.
I'll wait
And you
till you're
failed
done.
to take responsibility
On
for
what
how
cause?
we
She's
even
not
got
here.
here.
Do
But
the
why?
math. Read the room.
Why?
Read the room.
Why is she not here?
Read the room. These ladies don't really have my back outside of my girl Kelly. They have been speaking to Kenya. They have been having her back. How do you guys expect me to feel? Read the mother.
I'm reading the room.
You're not. You're
Reading the
acting a little
room.
slow.
No, I'm not
You are.
slow. You're
You're
slow
acting
because
slow.
you
How
like
am
to
I
throw
slow?
rocks and hide your hand.
How am I hiding my
You
hands?
like to throw
My
rocks
hands
and
are right
hide
here,
your
baby.
hand.
My hands are right
Where's
here.
Your band?
My
Where's
hands
your
are right
band?
here. Oh,
Where's your
you're on
band?
Kenya's side?
No, I am.
Can I get another one?
Can you add more peace to him, please?
Can I get a real drink? Can I get a strong one? Like tequila? Please put more peace in they drinks.
Angela, do you mind swapping seats?
Come sit by me.
All three of us will leave. Me,
Thank
Polly,
you.
and Esther.
Yo, Brit, how did you come about losing your license?
So this is what's going on. Because of all of the backlash and the defamation, I'm under an investigation with my insurance license. So you don't lose them immediately. It doesn't work that way.
Awesome.
So what was that,
I
Angela?
said I thought so.
Well, how about you be quiet?
I said I thought so.
Well, how about you be quiet?
I said I thought so.
I'm still talking.
I thought you were done.
I'm not done.
I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator. And I do know that in order to lose your license, there has to be more than just a rumor.
Would you like to twirl out?
Twirl out is wild.
I actually want to support her. But then you're gonna bark at me? Little mimosa came out of her. If she's telling me to leave, do you want me to leave?
She said twirl out.
Yeah, I
Kenya's words.
Kenya is definitely here. Girl, you are funny.
Oh man,
You really know it
I
really
love
made me
it.
laugh.
I love it.
Like,
well,
for
I'm
real, that
glad
was
I can make
funny.
you laugh.
This is a peace brunch,
Maybe I should
right?
be a
It's
comedian.
nasty work, honey.
Oh
Wow.
my God, it's so nasty. Yeah, that's why Kenya's not here, because of the nasty work that she's done.
And Angela wasn't buying it. She's like, nah, I'm sorry, but no, you're at fault and I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm not going to let you bully me or make me feel bad for checking in on my friend. Like, too bad if you don't like it. And I know people may argue and say, well, you should take a side. And if you don't take a side, that shows that you're low-key a hater. In a situation like this where Brit is the one who's at fault, she's even lucky that people are still messing with her. I'm surprised that people didn't also just say, I need to distance myself from you, the way that they did with Kenya. So this whole high school, schoolgirl mentality of the, oh, you can't be my friend if you're her friend, it's not gonna work in the real world with grown, mature women. Sorry, Brit. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what you think about this one down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.